Among the various different video games someone might have played, some always stand out. Red Dead Redemption 2, Minecraft, Hollow Knight, whatever the game may be. If you ask someone what their favorite game of all time is, and they said one of these names, you wouldn't be surprised. Ghost of Tsushima is one of those games. One of the 2 games ever I've truly 100%ed. I think Ghost of Tsushima manages to tell an intriguing story of complex themes, have immensely good gameplay, and look amazing all at the same time. So what is it that makes Ghost of Tsushima so impactful, and why does it deserve the high ratings it's gotten? First off, some background information. Ghost of Tsushima is a 2020 action-adventure game developed by Sucker Punch Productions, following the struggles of Jin Sakai to liberate the island of Tsushima from a Mongol invasion in 1274. It's set during the real first Mongol invasion of Tsushima, however that's pretty much where the similarities end. In real life, the Mongols were devastated by typhoons called the kamikaze, or divine wind, and forced to retreat in both invasions that happened in Tsushima. Whereas here, a single man works tirelessly to dismantle the entire army. With all of that stuff out of the way, let's get into it. Now, if you haven't played Ghost of Tsushima yet, and can, I really do think you should before watching a video that will contain as many spoilers as this one. I cannot give this game enough praise, and with ratings as high as these, you don't just have to take my word for it. There shouldn't be too many until the story segment, where I'll have another small spoiler warning, but all the same, there will likely be a few in the B-roll for the other segments, so just be warned. Games are made up of 3 main components: gameplay, story, and look. Ghost of Tsushima takes all 3 and slams them out of the park. Gameplay-wise, Ghost of Tsushima is a smooth and well-paced combat game with decent stealth mechanics. With a mix of ranged options, unlockable tools and skills, stealth, and the robust close combat options Ghost of Tsushima offers a variety of ways to beat the game. There are some times when you'll be forced into certain playstyles by Tales, but even then, those missions almost all offer multiple tools to beat it with. While the game does more heavily support quote-unquote honorable combat, there is no right way to play Ghost of Tsushima, and the game makes sure not to limit itself in any certain direction. The exploration part of the game, while it can feel daunting, especially at first, is quite enjoyable and rewarding, especially the first time you do it. The only issue I had during my 100% run was that some quests felt like small fetch quests, but those were mostly few and far between, and despite it, I did all of them. Looks-wise, Ghost of Tsushima is beautiful. It's the first thing you'll notice, and it's something that doesn't go away even after multiple replays. The realistic look to it all seems less like a photograph and more like a great painting, close but exaggerated to bring the full beauty of the scenes forward. There's so many moments in the game where you'll just stop and look at something, or appreciate a calm ride while exploring, or climb to the top of a shrine or temple and be rewarded with a sweeping view of the surroundings. Not only is the world beautiful, the cutscenes are too, taking that already amazing look and utilizing it to the fullest extent possible. My background on my MacBook, where this video is being edited, and my PlayStation, where I played the game, both use this image from the closing cutscene of a side quest in Act 3. This is not a planned out shot done in the very handy photo mode the game gives you. This is just a frame of the cutscene from the end of that quest. Legendary Tales themselves have a unique starting cutscene. These beautiful black ink paintings forming as Yamato, the storyteller, tells you the tale of some legendary samurai or skill or tool that just look awesome. The UI is amazing as well, and I think that overall the game nailed a visual identity throughout all of the many aspects of it. The whole look seems like the work of an artist telling the story of Jin Sakai, and it succeeds in every aspect. Story-wise, Ghost of Tsushima is even stronger. This is where I'll put another spoiler warning, and 3, 2, 1, alright. Ghost of Tsushima's story is a tragic tale of how one broken samurai, who himself we find out to not be as sure of himself as we would think, grows to become the hero of Tsushima and the consequences of doing what he does to drive the Mongols away. The Mongols land at Komada Beach right at the start of the game and massacre the samurai there. In fact, Jin is the only one there to survive other than his uncle, Lord Shimura, the daimyo of Tsushima, who was kidnapped by Koten Khan. Jin has to learn to break his code of honor to fight back, trained by the woman who nursed him back to health, Yuna, a thief. Before, Jin would have been obligated to arrest her. Now, she is the one giving him the tools to survive. This here creates the primary struggle for Jin. Does he follow what he's been taught all his life, that samurai fight with honor? Or does he change his beliefs, further isolating himself from his uncle and old life, becoming the ghost? Ultimately, Jin chooses to become the ghost and do whatever he needs to defeat Koten Khan, tearing himself away from his uncle and from life as a samurai fully by the end of the game. Through the main story and the side tales, the story explores issues of self-identity, change, grief, revenge, and the consequences of one's actions. Each ally of Jin has their own tales as well, and each one further explores these same topics through the actions of those close to Jin. In a way, Jin is confident in his choices. Despite the internal struggle they cause him, Jin has his mind set on helping the people of Tsushima, and himself remains pure of the corruption of soul and self these very same issues have on those around him. Despite his choices, despite his lost friends, despite his complete shunning from his previous life. Finally, after the long struggle to defeat the Khan and stop a full-scale invasion of mainland Japan, there is one last tale. The tale of Lord Shimura. Here we see the true cost of saving Tsushima. The man who would be Jin's own father, who has taught Jin how to be a man and grow to be a protector of Tsushima and a samurai, has been told to kill Jin by the shogun. After a brief ride, they come to the Sakai clan's cemetery, and there the most important lines of the entire game, in my opinion, are uttered.
You have no honor, and you are a slave to it.
Lord Shimura here has a different definition of honor than Jin does. In an earlier flashback, we see that honor to Shimura means,
we must show everyone that we serve our Lord with courage, integrity, and self-control.
Whereas to Jin, it means,
I guess, protecting people. The ones who can't fight for themselves.
Lord Shimura could never have changed his ways like Jin has throughout the game because his loyalty was not only to the people, but the shogun. Yes, Lord Shimura is a Fed. Change is not always a bad thing, but is always resisted, especially by the old guard, and especially by those in power. Lord Shimura is, for all intents and purposes, a high-level military officer. He doesn't want to change because that's just not how we do things around here. In today's society, especially in America where I live, this idea is growing ever more prevalent each year. And that in turn is making Ghost of Tsushima every year that much more impactful to me. Following this, you both write the last words of your respective clans, and you duel. It is clear neither man wants to do this, but they have to. And in the end, Lord Shimura loses after falling to his own emotions. The thing he has told Jin that he is at fault for, opening his guard. You as a player are given two options. You can either grant Lord Shimura the honorable samurai death he asks you for, prompting him to share heartfelt words with you before his last moments alive, asking you to seek him out in the next life before you kill him and scream out in grief. Or you can choose to spare his life, disregarding his beliefs and stating that
I have no honor. But I will not kill my family.
This ending, which I believe has been confirmed to be the true ending of the game, and which I personally believe is likely the true ending of the game, since Jin no longer burdens himself with the quote-unquote honor of the samurai by this point in the story, drives Shimura further into rage, yelling at Jin as he places the mask of the ghost on his face, symbolizing his final step in full immersion into the legend of the Ghost of Tsushima and away from his old life. Either way, Jin continues the fight against the Mongols as an outlaw in the end, vowing to never stop fighting them until they are fully gone from the island of Tsushima, the island he calls home, and hopefully succeeding in peacefully retiring after all his hard work. All you're left with is wondering whether you made the right choice, sparing or killing Lord Shimura, and what honor means to you. Truly, Ghost of Tsushima is one of the best games ever released. It sincerely deserves its place among the greats, and with Ghost of Yotai having released just this month, and me only just starting my journey there, I felt it was a good time to talk about one of my favorite games ever released. To anyone who made it this far, thank you. I am settled into college and have time to make videos again, so I am excited to release things somewhat consistently again. I am looking to release more Ghost of Tsushima videos soon, starting with one about Lady Masako, and any feedback you have to offer would be greatly appreciated. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.